Well, the criteria are given. They're given by the terms of the award, and certainly my experience as a judge last year is that the judges take those criteria very seriously and apply them. They're applied quite rigorously during the evaluation of the various books, all the way from the beginning, the process of what the judges do. The first phase of judging is to allocate a score, a numerical score to each book. And on the basis of that, there's a sort of long short list, and then from the long short list, the judges during their first meeting produce a short list. And throughout that process, I think that the criteria are carefully applied. For me, what it means is that when I read the book, it's a combination of the interest, the novelty of this, and the importance of the subject matter. But especially, I think, the quality of the writing. We have here in the post-apartheid moment is a kind of a sense that it's possible now to write about new things in new ways, and that's opened up the field of creative non-fiction to the kinds of titles and the kinds of topics that probably we didn't see in the early 1990s, and the publishing industry is responding to that. But perhaps a bit too quickly. I mean, I do get a sense that some of these titles either shouldn't have been published or need some serious editorial work. I would say the power to surprise and the art of the word. I mean, I really relish books that are beautifully written, where the author loves the language and can play with the language in very clever and very humorous ways. One of the things that's difficult about judging this competition is, the genre of creative non-fiction is very elastic. And one of the things we get in this year's selection is a huge range in types of books. Some of the ones that have stood out for me so far, Ivan Vladislavich's latest book, Portrait with Keys, which is written with a wonderfully light touch. I think it's a very intelligent, in some ways very profound book, but it's written with a marvelously light touch and a very dry humour. Another one that stands out is White Scars by Dennis Herson, which is an autobiographical text. And it's an interesting combination of some actually quite scholarly or academic prose and some very personal, intimate reflections. Reading is an intensely personal experience, and we have criteria, and I think responsible judging requires that we apply those criteria as carefully and rigorously as you can. But absolutely, I don't think any of the judges would deny that they're reading through the prism of their own experience and their own interests. Absolutely. Now, I did read a lot as a child, and I had the very familiar white South African childhood menu of books. Enid Blyton, Nancy Drew. I also had a thing about historical novels. I really loved as a teenager, long historical novels. This is a serious sum of money, so there's serious recognition here of literary talent and of an art form which I think has a powerful contribution to make. I mean, I know it's generational, but I still believe in the power of books. I still value the sort of encounter with a book that really has the power to change the way I think, to make the world look different.